Welcome to my world, everyone. This is Like It or Not with L.I.O.N. And L.I.O.N is who I be. I'm here in the hood dungeon, in the darkest part of the hood dungeon. Uh, I heard some shots fired, so I got to relocate, stay away from the window. It's a damn shame. But anyway, the news came out recently that the mayor, former mayor, Richard Daley, was released from the hospital after having stroke-like symptoms. He was walking. He didn't look like it was real bad. He stayed for a couple of days in the hospital, and I am glad that he's all right. I'm cool with that. But I have to talk about him for a minute. I don't wish any sickness, I don't wish any illness, hurt, or anything like that. But seeing him walk out of the hospital, it made me kind of think about what I need to talk about. Now, you see, Mayor Daley, he's proof that there's so many people lost. He is proof, especially black people, especially my people, completely lost. And I'm going to show you. Well, Mayor Daley was the mayor for 22 years, from 1989 to 2011, I believe. 22 years as the mayor of Chicago. Now, most of those times, his votes that carried him over, that pushed him over the top, that made him undefeated for those 22 years, were the strength of the black vote. Backing him up, other black people, other black politicians. And here we are, voting for Mayor Daley, time and time again. Now, he was after Eugene Sawyer, after all that stuff that happened with our late great mayor, Harold Washington. Now, during those times as mayor, we were learning. It started in 78 when the rumors started coming out about former police chief John Burge. And John Burge, there was a lot of things going on about him, and I'm going to tell you about it in a few. But it really started to come out as Mayor Daley was still doing his thing, globalizing the city and all that good stuff, which is not bad. I'm not dogging that. But we were getting news, and this shows how much Democrats care. This is my proof of screaming about liberals, how we're stuck on liberalism. John Burge, Democrat, police chief. It started coming out more and more that he was torturing black men, putting them in jail, torturing them, forcing them to admit that they committed crimes, and they really didn't. Dozens of innocent black men were thrown in jail, served time, some of them 20 years, some of them died in jail. Let me tell you about the torture. The torture that John Burge did was either burning them by cigarettes, radiator, using radiators, cigarettes. There's beating. They beat them up using cattle prod and violet, what are those violet winds? Also, those telephone wire. I believe they call it a Tucker telephone or something like that. And just trying to choke them to get them to say, I did it. I did it. I confess. Beat the devil out of them. So many lives destroyed. Then it started coming out. It started coming out about this racist John Burge. But here's the thing. Somebody had to be in on it to put these people, to prosecute them and put these innocent lives in prison. Here we go. Open the door to Richard Daley. Richard Daley, from 1980 to 1989, he was the Cook County State's Attorney. He helped it. He was in on it. And he was quiet. Even when he was mayor, he didn't say nothing as he was winning these elections. He didn't give a damn about it. And he knew that these black men were sitting there, dozens of them, tortured, beaten, still have scars on them, and they're in jail. And they've been in jail for the past 10, 15, 20 years and didn't commit a single crime. What did black people do? Kept them going in office. The black vote was the strength in putting this man in office, because in big cities, black people are heavily populated. This is how lost we are. And we're sitting here, Democrats care for us. They love us. They don't love people. Because it really don't matter. If they screwed black people, look what they're doing to the whites now. But in this situation, I'm talking about blacks. I'm talking about my people. I'm trying to wake y'all up. And to this day, Mayor Daley ain't said nothing. Even with John Burge being convicted later on, though, he was arrested by Pat Fitzgerald. He was arrested by him on charges of not of torture, because they ran past the statute of liberty, the statute of limitations. They ran past that, but he was convicted of bribery and stuff like that. He was just charges on him, and he was I can't think of what he was arrested and tried for and found guilty of. But he was sentenced to 4.5 years. He'll be out in 2015. Richard Daley, he's been untouched. Richard Daley has nothing to say. Richard Daley never apologized. Nothing. If he gave a damn, he would have said something. But he's too busy protecting his ass. And you tell me that you call me an Uncle Tom. You call me an Uncle Ruckus. You call me a sellout. So you voting for a man that helped put innocent black men in jail by way of torture. You call that black power? It's liberal power. I tell you that much. But if not voting for Mayor Daley and seeing through the wickedness of the liberals, the Democratic Party and this Democratic machine, not only in Chicago but nationwide, this is what makes me an Uncle Tom. This what makes me an Uncle Ruckus. If this what makes me a sellout, I wear that with pride. Because I want what's good for all people, including my own. And if you're voting for people like him, aka Rahm Emanuel, it tells me where your head's at. Doesn't sound like black power to me. Like it or not.